Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. So to recap on tonight's episode, it doesn't go right after Tribal Council. It starts off on the beach. So that made me think either they were going right to a reward challenge or Jeff said those magic words, drop your buffs. That's right. They switched things up again, and not only did they switch tribes, but now there's a third tribe, a green tribe called the Yanuya's tribe, or Yanuya. And the tribe divisions go, Navidi is Bradley, Dominic, Libby, Chelsea, and Donathan. And gotta say, I'm really liking the Navidi tribe. I think I've been liking Navidi all throughout the season. Malolo is Desiree, Michael, Angela, James, and Kellen. And the Yanuya tribe is Sebastian, Laurel, Wendell, Chelsea, and Jenna. So now they're all dealing with the big shakeup. On Nanuya, that's what its name is, Sebastian apparently has been collecting, I guess, different mementos on the island, and because of Wendell, he has this shell that he's held on to the whole time, and he brought it over for Sebastian, so Sebastian really liked that. Wendell likes the fact that he's away from, well, he doesn't necessarily like the fact that he's stuck on the same tribe as Chris because he's sick of dealing with Chris. Let me see my notes here. He's pretty much sick of Chris gloating about everything, and Laurel agrees. Basically, she says that Chris likes to hear himself talk. And at one point, Chris said that he was a model, and Laurel thought that, he thought she'd be impressed by that, but she wasn't. So yeah, I definitely agree with that statement that Chris definitely likes to hear himself talk. Like, he's super annoying, and as I've said in previous recaps, apparently can't take constructive criticism because his whole game is about getting Dominic off. So yeah, he's annoying. On the Malolo tribe, James and Angela tell the whole tribe about the Chris and Dominic feud, so they know what's going on. And Michael tells James about Kellen and Desiree, how them two are very tight, how Michael tried to work with them in the past, but they basically took off the original Malolos one by one. On the Navidi tribe, they get to camp, and Chelsea is crying, basically kind of the same way Donathan was. She said that coffee to her felt like home, and from being on a losing tribe so much, she, likes the fact that she has like coffee and all the comfort over at Navidi. And Dominic is also relieved that he is free of Chris. He's sick of having Chris breathing down his neck the whole time, and I'd be annoyed too myself. And Bradley's excited to be on the same tribe as Dominic again and be able to work with him. Not sure how well they'll be able to work together because they didn't really get to talk that much when they were on original Navidi, but I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. Dominic basically described Libby as the devil in angel's clothes, and I agree with that statement because Libby comes across as this like Miss Innocent, goody two shoes, like angelic, but she's really plotting behind the scenes, and you wouldn't expect her to be manipulative as she is. And he basically described her as Parvati 2.0 of her flirting all the time and everything. The immunity challenge was one of my favorites. Basically one person was the caller, and they had to help their tribe navigate to find these puzzle bags, and then once they get all the puzzle bags, the caller will direct one pair to solve this puzzle. And Desiree, Wendell, and Dominic were the callers. And Malolo was actually in the lead for quite a while, but it ended up being Nanuya that won first immunity and Navidi that won second immunity. And it all came down to Desiree being the caller. And it made me think that she couldn't do the puzzle on the first day. Why would they put Desiree in charge of the puzzle now? Like, I definitely think that was the wrong move, putting Desiree in charge of that. And they didn't send anybody to Ghost Island this episode. I was a little bit, I was wondering why they didn't do that. Maybe because they just swapped tribes or what? I was wondering maybe they might go back to having someone sent to Ghost Island at immunity, but we'll have to see the next episode. So Malolo is again sent to Tribal Council. Yeah. So Kellen wants to vote out James, and Desiree, she knows that she's the reason why they lost, and again, she's taking accountability for the fact that she caused the team to lose. So she's willing to vote for James, as long as it's not her. And Angela feels like she's on the bottom because two of her Navidi members wanted to try to get her off an earlier episodes to try to send Chris a message because they couldn't get Chris voted off, so they figured Angela, his closest ally, would be the next best thing. So the only person that Angela's been able to talk with and have like an alliance with is James. So she's a bit hesitant to vote off James. And Kellen wants to talk to Angela and make her feel welcome and potentially work with Angela, but she seems kind of standoffish and doesn't want to hear what Kellen has to say. At Tribal Council, Desiree, again takes responsibility for her causing the team to lose, and I definitely have respect for people when they take accountability for the fact that they lost. But Angela did make a good point at Tribal Council saying that if you want to step up to that role, okay, you can step up that role, we'll support you. But we expect you, when you step up to that role, to not to strike out. We expect you to hit a home run. And I agree with that. When you have somebody in that role, you expect them to help win immunity, not have them to go to Tribal Council. That could be a potential problem if you keep somebody in the game who is such a weak link that it causes them to lose back-to-back challenges. And the votes came down to Desiree and James, and it was actually James that got sent home. I'm wondering how that's going to work now that Angela lost her closest ally. But I definitely think that they made the right decision going forward because they basically based their vote off of like physical strength, but also James seemed like a real threat. He seemed like he was really great at not only great at challenges, but was also great at the social game too. So I definitely could have seen James being a great social threat had he moved forward. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting episode of Survivor. It's always very interesting when they shake up the tribes. Next week's episode shows that there's some tension between Bradley and Dominic. And apparently, because of Malolo's bad luck, they decide to burn the Malolo flag because they just want to get rid of that bad mojo. I find it still funny now. I mean, I like Jacob, but his comment about Malolo being the greatest tribe ever is kind of funny at this point because Jeff even said it himself, a tribal, they're one of the, well, he didn't actually say they're the worst tribes ever. I mean, that's a little bit harsh, but just from looking at them, I'm like, oh my god, gosh, I haven't seen a worst tribe compete in challenges in a while. So I hope you guys enjoyed Survivor tonight. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.